What's up, everybody? It's Carlos from Premier Reviewer, and I am doing a review of these two monster headphones. And when I mean monster, I'm not talking about the brand, but I am talking about the Sony Gold and the Sony Elite headsets. So I'm going to be doing a comparison of the two, and I will start by talking about the new Gold. As you see, quite compact, very sleek design, a nice matte finish so you don't have the fingerprints, they don't show up, I mean, unless you have some really oily hands. But let's get to this headset right now. So my first impressions with these headsets was that they were like cheaply made. I guess now that I've used them for a little while, I noticed that it's not that they were cheaply made, because they actually have a pretty good build quality to it. But it is very light, so that's a very good, it's a plus. It's very light, they sound pretty good. I mean, the adjustment is a different way of doing it. The headphones itself don't adjust, but the ear cups adjust, so that's a plus. The noise cancellation feature to it, I didn't even really notice it. There is a little bit of a leak. People could still hear, and they're not terribly loud. I put out its max, which most people are going to be able to do the same, and sound was clear, the sound was crisp. It gave you a true virtual surround sound, which made me feel pretty good about the headset, because they did sound really good. And I can't complain too much about the sound. These are really good gaming headsets, and the price definitely helps that out, being at only $99. Comfort is right up there with most headphones of high quality. And what I mean by that is the ear cups seem to be pretty cushiony. You don't really notice them after playing for a little while. You don't feel like you have to do a lot of adjustment to it. They are compact, which is very cool. There aren't a ton of buttons. I mean, they do have a good amount of buttons in this headset, but it's not overwhelming like the Pulses are. I mean, these have buttons in every direction, it seems, and at first you can get a little confused with it, but over time that you can correct that. It's not a big deal. So these headsets are really good for the price. Again, I would definitely recommend this to somebody. And if you haven't experienced the Sony brand of headsets, then this is definitely a good way to start. Again, they're light, they sound clear. I said it before, I'll say it again, I would recommend these. The button functionality seems to be right where they need to be. And I guess my dislikes is the sound volume is not tremendously loud. You know what I mean? It seems to be at just the right percent. But you just feel like you can maybe go up another notch, and that would help out the whole situation, that whole feeling of really truly being in the game. I mean, these things are really good. I'm not saying they're bad. They're really good. They sound good when you're listening, when you're playing a Call of Duty or Battlefield, whatever it is that you're playing at the time. They sound really good. You're gonna get that advantage, that gamer advantage of hearing somebody coming from one side or the other. These are very good. Let me move on to the other headsets. And these, anybody who knows me knows I'm a huge fan. So, I mean, these things sound amazing. The sound on these with the rumble, it really does feel like you're using a DualShock controller in your ears, because it gives you that shake, that feeling of an explosion that just happened on your left side. You feel it right there. Something a bullet flies, you can feel it, you can hear it. I mean, these things really get you involved in the game, and I mean, the only down factor of that is that you have to keep it pretty low, because if you put it anywhere near halfway or max of this, and what I mean is, hopefully you can see that, and if you keep it in the middle, your ears are gonna get, it's not gonna feel good. But if you put it, you know, a quarter of the way up, it feels like it's just the right amount of vibration coming through the headset. These are a little bit bulkier, as you see. They're quite noticeable to be more of just gaming headsets. I'm not gonna go, you know, walking down the street or go to the gym wearing these. Not saying that I couldn't do it, but I just wouldn't. These extend, so if you have a big head, you see how much clearance I have. They're very durable, flexible. Sound quality is amazing, and I slightly give the sound quality edge to these rather than these. It just feels like you have a little bit more control on the sound with these than the gold. So in my preference, I actually prefer to use these. They're a really good, solid headphone. I bought these about 120, 125, I think. So they're not too far off in price from the new ones. I think the new ones did a good job of marketing themselves at that price, giving more people a reason to buy these. I myself, with these, I don't know if they're gonna come down in price with these. These seem to have stayed in the last few days. I noticed when these came out and I purchased these, the price was still the same. I'm sure the price will come down pretty soon, but nonetheless, let's just see what happens and go from there. Hopefully this helps you guys out, and if it does, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content from me. And this is a quick review of these two bad boys, the Sony Gold and the Sony Pulse headsets. So hopefully you guys like this review, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.